the lonely sea and sky. And all I ask for is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life. And all I ask for is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and a quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trek is over.
The Indian Navy is the 5th largest navy in the world, with over 55,000 highly trained and motivated officers and sailors. It patrols over 7,600 kilometers of coastline, protects nearly $200 billion of commercial trade, manning potent warships, stealthy submarines, and sophisticated aircraft. This three-dimensional defense arm is a prominent and indispensable part of the Indian Armed Forces.
The biggest strength of the entire Indian Navy lies in our men, dedicated, diligent and committed.
Bridge, forecastle, Raman, motor prepared.
Being a naval aviator means everything to me.
I've always wanted to be a Harrier pilot. I've always wanted to be in the Navy.
There is a romance of the sea and the romance of the warrior, and a combination of that makes most people take up the Navy as a career. People come here driven for a purpose, with only one aim. That is, belief that is his.
The Navy means the sun, the sea, and a whole lot of power.
330 still and 000 to Kashtan. Strike on bearing 330.
Rocket standby. Opposition's GDR target closing. Stand by with fire. Now, fire!
Not I report that ship is moving in the probability area. Well, you can rest assured that this country, its interests at sea and on land are secure.
Hit first, hit hard, and keep hitting. That's our motto.
National Geographic Channel and the Indian Navy are giving ordinary Indian citizens a once-in-a-lifetime chance to be a part of this elite force. From thousands of hopefuls across India, only 5 will make the grade. For the first time ever, these 5 will get a chance to live the life of a naval warrior. They will sail on board a destroyer, dive into the depths in a submarine, fire weapons on board a stealth frigate, experience G-forces in a fighter aircraft, train with elite naval divers, and be a part of amphibious operations. These 5 will compete with each other at every stage and fight to prove their mettle. Some will face rejection along the way. And finally, only one will win the grand prize and the honor to be a part of an overseas cruise on an Indian naval warship. For the next 7 weeks, National Geographic Channel takes you on an incredible, never-seen-before voyage. Nat Geo takes you inside the Indian Navy. A 14-day war and Operation Trident saw the Indian Navy prove its mettle and come of age.
The killer squadron carried out the famous Operation Trident on the Pakistan Navy.
All this and more when Mission Navy returns. Ever since partition and independence, in 1947, East Pakistan, now known as Bangladesh, had always been treated as a colony of Pakistan. The Awami League's demand for autonomy eventually led to a military crackdown in the east, and by November 1971, nearly 9 million refugees had entered India from the eastern sector. While ground fighting in the form of border clashes were on for months, hostilities intensified when on December 3, 1971, At 17:30 hours, Pakistani Air Force launched preemptive airstrikes against 9 Indian airfields. For the third time in 2.5 decades since independence, India and Pakistan were at war.
I speak to you at a moment of great peril to our country and our people. Some hours ago, soon after 5:30 p.m. on the 3rd of December, Pakistan launched a full-scale war against us. And this imposes upon me, my government, and the people of India an awesome responsibility. We have no other option but to put our country on a war footing.
Moments after Pakistan launched airstrikes on Indian airfields, the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral S.M. Nanda, flashed a message to his forces. Seek and destroy all enemy warships. The maritime link between the two wings of the enemy has to be sliced forthwith. Ensure that no supplies reach the Pakistani war machine in East Pakistan from seaports. From the western sector, in early December, 3 missile boats of the Killer Squadron were ordered to proceed towards Karachi.
Killers are the ships which make the first entry into the enemy territory. They are the ones who draw the first blood. On the night of the 3rd of December, the Killer Squadron carried out the famous Operation Trident on the Pakistan Navy.
Operation Trident's target was none other than Karachi Harbour.
This operation was spearheaded by INS Nirghat. Along with INS Nirghat, we had INS Veer and INS Nipat. Around 70 nautical miles south of Karachi, INS Nirghat detected on its radar PPI an enemy warship. INS Nirghat launched 2 surface-to-surface missiles and this contact was sunk. Later on it was discovered that it was the famous Pakistani destroyer PNS Khyber.
The innovative use of missile boats by the Indian Navy had left the enemy fleet bottled up inside the vicinity of Karachi and the Makran coast. The missile boats then struck again at Kiamari Island, which housed major oil installations. The resulting fire could be seen from 60 miles out at sea. Meanwhile, the Indian Navy's operation gained momentum on the eastern front. INS Rajput fired depth charges off the coast of Visakhapatnam and destroyed the Pakistani submarine Ghazi, the pride of the enemy's naval fleet. The aircraft carrier INS Vikrant moved up the Bay of Bengal and on the morning of the 4th of December launched Sea Hawk and Elise aircraft which carried out a series of airstrikes. The Vikrant closed in on Cox's Bazar and its aircrafts hit several vital installations. A second strike destroyed a control tower, a fuel dump, then a powerhouse, and finally, a wireless station.
No one realized this more intuitively than the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, who said, "To be secure on land, we must be supreme at sea."
It was during this 14-day war that the Indian Navy came of age and proved itself in the defense of the nation. It's been 38 years since Operation Trident lit up the night sky in Karachi. Now, National Geographic Channel and the Indian Navy are giving 5 ordinary citizens a chance to experience this elite force. But what are the qualities that are required to be a part of the Indian Navy?
Patriotism should be of the highest order. Integrity and loyalty should be there. Willingness to work as a team. And of course, they should be technologically savvy.
Pre-launch checks of Top Run Tube 1 and 2 completed.